And then she's gonna go. I hope your wife doesn't pee standing up. If she does, I mean, more power to her. But she's gonna sit down and fall in, and you know what she's gonna say? Thomas!
We're gonna have to edit that volume down.
She's gonna yell, Thomas! and you're gonna be like, what? I fell in. How does that? And your children's gonna be like, what happened, Dad? See, son. Anyways, welcome back to Organic Matters. I'm your co-host, Dominick George.
I'm the other one over here. My name is Tomas Salas.
And welcome to fifth episode?
This is the fifth episode.
Fifth episode.
5 weeks in a row we've done this.
Halfway to 10. 10, we gotta do something special. What's the 10th episode?
I mean, I don't know yet because if it's 5 weeks in the future. Like, we should have prepared this if we wanted to talk about that.
You're right, but we did kinda.
No, when?
Switching. I think it'd be funny if we switched.
Oh, I see. Okay. Dom wants to do this thing where we try to be the other person, like for a podcast, like try to imitate how they act during the podcast.
I got this. Ready? Tomas impression right now.
Oh my gosh.
Wait, whenever I think of Tomas impression, I don't think of podcast Tomas. I think of, what's up, guys? It's Tomas Salas, and today this is the exclusive content of my brothers making the Organic Matters intro song with all my organic movements and my organic soundtrack and my...
It is very organic. It's very nature-centered and from the core, from my heart, Dominic. And speaking of that, I did finish the exclusive short-form content on the Organic Matters Podcast YouTube channel, and you guys should check it out 100%. It is pretty professional, in my opinion. I really like it.
It's always a professional. It is pretty professional, to be honest, TBH. But also
entertaining.
It's entertaining. It's kind of like you're at a friend's house, and you're watching your friend have some witty banter with their brothers, which is exactly what you guys do the entire time. And it's very entertaining. I think you guys should check it out. It's a fun watch.
Give us feedback, too. Like, on Instagram, DM me. DM the Organic Matters Podcast Instagram. Say anything you want about it, negative or positive. I'll take it, and I'll ingrain it into another form of content later on.
Yeah, and maybe give us some ideas for some other short-form content. We're thinking of a behind-the-scenes, maybe... I don't know if you guys like this, but Organic Matters in the Wild. Or
that's a good name, Dom.
Our Organic Matters being organic, which is your favorite word.
That is my favorite word to use for the podcast.
But yeah, so give us some ideas, and maybe, we will give some more short-form content.
I got an idea. Like. I got these, styrofoam, foam blocks that you put on, studio walls at my house, and every time you take it off, we don't like where they're at my house, so every time you take it off, paint comes off with it. So I'm thinking we take off all of them and repaint that room for exclusive content. Maybe.
So we're filming a video of paint drying. Is what I'm hearing.
With my masterful editing skills, I can make it work.
You can make paint drying look cool?
I'd say so.
I think it's a no.
Well, I guess you're just going to have to tune in and watch.
You know what you just did?
Plugged my editing skills.
You didn't take no for an answer. So, did we tell this already? Was this the fourth podcast thing?
We talked about that. Yes. I edited the fourth podcast. Speaking of that. Okay. Let me explain something real quick. I was tripping out during the last podcast. Not like drugs, all right? I was mentally in my head during the whole thing, and it was a problem during that podcast, and I said to Dom, yo, I'll edit this one. I'll try to make this look good. And while I was editing it, I realized there was nothing wrong. I sounded perfectly fine, and I was just totally in my head. And it was an amazing experience to go through to learn that it's all cool in the drool.
What did you include what happened after the podcast at all?
No.
Okay, so before the podcast, we talked about how we dance with our organic movements, and he recorded that, and he said it didn't feel right. So, but then after the podcast, he's like, Dom, I need a therapy session. So we have a little therapy session, and he forgot to turn off the camera. So we have our therapy session on camera, which
is never being released because it is very embarrassing.
it will be released on the Patreon for our top, our
$200 a month listeners get to experience the Tomas and Dom therapy session. It's never coming out again because we won't forget to turn off the camera.
Along with the 2-hour freestyle that we did.
We do that all the time.
Not yet, but yes.
We freestyle.
That's what I'm saying. But
Gonna have to get a bit better before we release some content like that, though.
So you said not on drugs, right?
Yes.
Today, when I text you, what is DMT? Because for some reason it came up at my lunch table, and you said you
did not even respond to me when I said this.
Yeah, because I was like, huh. You said you experience it when you're born and when you die.
Yes. Now apparently we're Joe Rogan because Joe Rogan has talked about DMT quite a bit on his podcast, which I listened to the episodes. And so DMT, it's a psychedelic drug. We also learned about it in health class. It's a psychedelic drug, and on Joe Rogan's podcast I learned that it can last from like 10 minutes to a lifetime that you're experiencing it, but in real life it's just like a 5-minute thing. And
wait, do you think the lifetime is, you say you produce it before death, maybe you when you die,
when you see the flashbacks to your life,
that's you experiencing the lifetime is when you die.
Yeah, that's
also
the theory.
In a sense when you're born, because you're bringing to the new life, and then I don't know. I was going somewhere, but I don't know.
I know. I understand what you're saying. It's just like the mystery of being a person.
But basically, I brought this up because in my mind, I've done DMT.
When you were born.
The one drug I've ever done. DMT. I just thought that was...
Sorry, everybody. You've done drugs.
And, you might say, oh, I'm drug-free. Check my urine. Well, guess what?
You did...
You didn't get drug tested when you were a baby, so that means that you are a drug addict.
Yes.
Wait, no, that's not what it means. It means you've done drugs.
You have done a drug. You've done a drug.
You've done a drug.
Ibuprofen is a drug.
Ibuprofen is a drug. That... Ibuprofen... Wait, is that the... Wait, no. Aleve is the Eminem one.
I think Aleve is like a...
Advil. Advil's the Eminem one, right?
Yeah, Advil's the Eminem. Aleve is like allergy stuff.
And then ibuprofen's the blue capsule one, right?
It's either that or you could have acetaminophen. You could have there's an Eminem one also. There's a lot of different types of painkillers that are over the counter, like not as strong as like the over counter painkillers, which are very dangerous.
we went from peeing on the toilet seat, which
this is gonna be so hard to make the chapters.
Which for YouTube viewers you will know about because that is audio exclusive. We're now starting that audio exclusive. Gets a little like
sneak peek of into the like right before the podcast into the podcast.
It's kind of like a little organic matters before the organic matters.
If you're a real fan, you'll go to the audio, listen to the audio portion, come back to the video right after that's done, and watch the video all the way through. It's basically
like the audio exclusive is like the seed, because we're organic.
Organic, yeah.
And then the podcast is like it germinating and sprouting.
Ooh, germinating.
Oh, so today I had an SAT.
What an insightful word.
Today I had an SAT prep, and I was talking to the girl about...
The girl.
My tutor, or
the
she helped me.
All-knowing tutor.
The all-knowing girl tutor about the podcast, because we're adding it to my resume.
Oh, nice.
And she looked up Organic Matters on something, and there's another podcast named Organic Matters, and it doesn't talk about like topics as matter. It talks about
like
the
plants.
It's like about planting
and like human taxonomy.
So then I was
like the kingdom, phylum, class, order, family, genus, species.
So then I was like, maybe we need to talk about more about plants, and then maybe it will overtake their content.
We're definitely gonna overtake their content by using our own content, Dom.
Oh, also, the girl thought that the title of the last podcast, "How is Joe Rogan Alive?" She laughed for like a minute.
No way.
About it. And I was like, yeah, Tomas.
Did she listen to that part?
No, she just saw she's like, that's actually really funny, and she just kept laughing like that. I was like, yeah, it's Tomas for you.
I'm pretty good at writing the like the descriptions and the titles and everything.
You just have your ideas are just so whack.
I'm pretty creative.
There's like a creative, but then also like it's so whack that the creativeness, it works.
It works, and it also grabs attention.
Sometimes you have like some weird ideas, like the idea you had for tomato sauce. The tomato sauce you made.
Dom, cooking is art.
Cooking is not.
Cooking. What were you gonna say? Offend the chefs watching right now. Do it. Do it.
Gordon Ramsay is a guy, and his art, you might be, can you eat art? Didn't think so.
I'd say you can, 100%. Can you listen to art? Can you see art? Can you taste art?
Can you feel art?
Yes.
What's one sense we're missing? Touch. Wait, touch. Can you touch art? Wait, can you touch art?
Yeah, sculptures.
Oh, like when you touch.
Even if you're blind, there's like, you could feel the different features of things.
Anyways, before we got into art, we'll talk about art in a little bit. I want to talk about your tomato sauce. I thought it was for speaking of cooking, but not really is what you did. So after third podcast, I believe, we got hungry, and we decided to cook up some mozzarella sticks.
Crack open the freezer,
see what's in there.
Found the mozzarella sticks.
Mozzarella sticks were in there, so we're cooking them, and you always need like a side. If it's eggs, you need your ketchup.
Okay. Since I was a baby, I've loved sauce. My parents said, you're going to go to Paris, France one day because you love sauce so much.
And you're going to get lost in the sauce.
I'm going to get lost in the sauce straight up. Eating some escargot by the Eiffel Tower.
But your sauce.
I'm saucy.
So my girlfriend's Italian, and I talked to her.
She is? Nice.
And I'm like, how do you make tomato sauce? And she says, you have to cook down your tomatoes so that they'll become soft and the sugars are exfoliated out or brought out and create this sweet, great tomato sauce. You add some seasonings in it and a little bit of tomato paste for that little tomato bomb, and boom, great smooth tomato sauce. So Tomas thought, what if we don't cook our tomatoes?
Well, first of all, I needed some marinara sauce, and you didn't have marinara sauce, but I saw you had tomatoes. So an idea popped in my head. Make my own marinara sauce.
Okay, you had the right idea. It's just you failed in execution. So here's the Tomas home-style cooking recipe for tomato sauce.
Grab 2 tomatoes.
Wait, I got this. So what you want to do is you want to first grab 1 whole homegrown tomato. Then, first we're doing ingredients. Then you need a lot of tomato paste. Then you need a splash of water. And then now for your seasonings. We don't have any Italian seasoning. So, we get as all we can. He grabs, since we can't cook down the tomatoes for the sugars, brown sugar, salt, pepper, garlic powder, onion powder, and finally, the closest thing to Italian seasoning everyone knows is clove. So you grab all that. And first you cut up your tomatoes.
With the plastic fork.
Oh yeah. Also, you can't use any dishes because the dishwasher doesn't work. So, so you cut up all your tomatoes. You cut up your tomatoes. Not you don't dice.
No knife.
Just kind of swing at your knife until it cuts things.
No, I didn't have a knife. I had a plastic fork, Dom.
You cut with the fork. We have plastic knives. Why did you not use the plastic knife?
Someone could have told me.
With the skin on, you keep the skin on. Adds texture. Cut. Slice. Then boom.
Dice.
Scoop of tomato paste. Bop. Mix that all together. Then it's not sauce like yet. Boom. Turn on the faucet. Really quick.
Yeah.
In and out.
Yeah.
Splash of water. Excuse me.
Yeah.
Splash of water. Then mix. Jeez.
Oh my gosh.
The monsters before was not a good idea. But then spices. Salt. Pepper. Clove.
Everything else.
Clove. And then for the sweetness, brown sugar. Has to be brown because of the molassesy, which is supposed to simulate you cooking down the sugars for 3 hours.
I thought I'd get rid of the bitterness of a tomato.
You thought adding like 3... he added it like you would sprinkle brown sugar on like yams for Thanksgiving dinner. It was just like a little sprinkle on top. And then you mix that all together and then nuke it in the microwave for
we needed to exfoliate or bring out the amazing flavors somehow.
Nuke it for how long? Like
2 minutes.
No, you did it for like 30 seconds.
No,
like
it was 2 minutes.
Seconds.
It was 100% 2
Whatever.
minutes. I remember. 2 minutes.
And
that's the recipe.
Then you cook it up. And then you taste. Tomas, with his brilliant ideas. Before this, I was like, Tomas, you've never done this before, right? And he kept saying, no, yeah, I've done this before. As soon as you put it in the microwave, he's like, Dom, this is a good time to tell you that I've never done this before. And I was like, oh, wait, really? It seems like you've done this before.
I thought I'd surprise him with an amazing, nice marinara sauce.
So then he tastes it, and he's like, it's really tomatoey. I don't necessarily like tomatoes. And then I'm like gagging. I'm like physically gagging.
He's gagging for some reason. It's not like I put inedible things into a bowl. Like it's just tomatoes.
I don't know why I was gagging. I sometimes eat tomatoes if they're like cooked like in a sandwich. If there's like a slice of tomato, I'll be like, whatever. I might pick it out, I might not. But I was like actually gagging. I don't know why. Maybe just the thought of me eating it just. So then he tries it with the cheese stick, and he's like, Dom, it's bad. It's really bad.
I feel bad for this Tomas.
So then he wasted the tomato sauce. But that's not the end of the story.
Mom Pom said that I could use them. She wasn't gonna use them for anything else. So I wasn't wasting it. I was trying to be creative and create art.
The thing is like a week later, my dad made some tomato sauce, some homemade marinara sauce, and he didn't add any tomatoes and just used tomato paste, and it tasted exactly like tomato sauce.
Nice.
So what you went wrong is you added real tomatoes into your marinara sauce.
I can see how that would work now.
Also, pause, back it up, clove.
Dom, I mean, okay, listen. Italian seasoning, that's like leaves and like, I think. That's
Do you know what else is leaves?
It's like, wait,
weed,
shush.
tea, basil. That's actually Italian seasoning.
Basil.
We literally have fresh basil, thyme, and a bunch of fresh herbs outside. But
I'm not too versed in the art of cooking.
But you know what you decided to do? Add clove. What else do you add clove to? Pumpkin pie. It's a warm spice. It's not Italian seasoning.
I'm sorry.
Why'd you think clove?
I probably should have grabbed pizza seasoning. That would have been better.
Where you're like...
There was pizza seasoning.
You're like... What's an Italian accent? Mamma mia! Ooh, some clove! That sounds Italian. Is that what you thought in your head?
Yeah.
Is that what you thought?
Something like that.
Is that what you thought in your head? Maybe I was gagging because I'm just really picky. My gag reflex is just bad.
What is that you're drinking?
The monster that I keep burping on.
We finished our first wall of monsters back here. Look at that. That's pretty cool. Every single week we've gotten a monster, or a monster for each of us. We switch off so we don't have to, we don't each pay, or we each pay for 2 every week. And that looks pretty cool.
You know, Emmy noticed the monster while growing. She was like, I see your monster while growing, and it's cool.
Is Emmy your girlfriend?
Emmy is my girlfriend, and she's the one that's Italian, and that said your recipe was bad. And
I agree. I totally agree. It was a bad recipe.
How'd you not gag on that? That's my question.
Because I created it. It was my baby.
Oh, I mean, that's
You don't
facts.
gag on your baby. Ever.
Do you
Dom.
do you eat your baby?
Never. Do you?
No.
I'm glad.
Exactly. But, I mean, you have a point. A while ago, we had a cupcake contest.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know when. It might have been sophomore year, so like 2 years ago.
Hey, pause. I really need to pee again. Wait. I want to tell why I have to pee again. My bladder is so small. And every time I drink caffeine, it just speeds up the process of my urinary tract. And I have to pee within 15 minutes of drinking something. And I like chug some water before getting here. And
why would you ever?
I just wanted to be hydrated for the podcast and my mind working well.
But we drink Monster before every podcast.
Water is still good for you.
Water
Water's good for you. Water's good for you.
Water is good for you, unless it's dirty.
Unless it's dirty, that's true. Wait,
but
I want to explain about my ultra kidneys, Dom. This is a thing, okay? Every time I drink water, I have to pee within 30 minutes at most of like ingesting liquid.
So you're saying is your kidneys are like Goku going Super Saiyan?
100%.
Or Ultra Instinct.
Oh, wait, I've looked it up. There's people like this as well. And it gets really annoying because at diving practice, I have to pee every 2 minutes. Not 2 minutes, like every hour or so.
But the caffeine thing, but like, that speeds up, that's actually very fact. That's
caffeine
very fact.
makes me pee.
Because we have a friend who might be on the podcast. His name's Joe Shark. And, well, yeah, his name's Joe Shark, and he has a YouTube channel. And for his YouTube channel, we filmed together, and we tried a bunch of
You tell this story. I'm going to pee.
Welcome to Solo Podcast Stories with Dom. So, Joe Shark, we filmed with him, and his idea was to try every energy drink, just like the basis of every energy drink. And the shoot went fine. At the end, we were all like physically shutting down because of how much caffeine we had. But after that video, I went to the pee. I went pee like 6 times in 10 minutes. I didn't really drink too much liquid. It's just I had so much caffeine that it just kind of went through me and was just like, psh, and it was just like it was like a slide from my mouth down out my bladder. And it was really annoying because I'd go downstairs, be like, oh, gotta go pee, go back upstairs, and I couldn't do anything. Wait, it's kind of like how when people drink coffee in the morning, they go poop right after. Maybe caffeine it doesn't only make your mind run fast, it makes everything run fast. And this is your segment of Solo Podcasting with Dom.
Hey, Dom.
Mm-hmm.
Hope you remember to put your seat down. Because I didn't.
Why? That's what we talked about for the audio only. Yeah, audio only knows that. But anyways, so your bladder goes fast. But we were talking about how you're not picky. Are you picky?
I'm alright. Like okay. I'm sorry if you hear squeaking. It's just it annoys me too. I'm sorry, guys. I'm not very picky. I'll eat lots of things. I won't eat tomatoes.
Yeah.
Like raw tomatoes.
Do you know what's weird? Things like people that don't like peanuts.
Squeak.
But
It's in squeak.
People that don't like peanuts, but they like peanut butter. People that don't like apples, but like applesauce.
Yeah.
It's weird how it turns something into a liquid or like a different form. You like it. Yeah.
The aqueous
I mean, tomato sauce doesn't taste like tomatoes, but it like does.
Aqueous is a thing. That's right?
Yeah, but it's just weird how just changing like the form.
Ketchup tastes good.
Yeah, it's just like I used to not like apples, but I like applesauce, and then peanuts scared me because they're nuts and nuts are scary. But I like peanut butter.
I'm allergic to nuts, so
yeah, that's honestly beta of you, anyways.
Yeah, sorry. Sorry. Like it's.
But yeah, continue.
I agree.
So like, what Have you ever had like an embarrassing story of you like being picky?
Being picky?
Like, has you being picky made a funny?
No,
or
but
embarrassing-
my brother one time, he was forced to eat like something at my grandparents' house, and it created a huge argument with my parents and my mom just because he wouldn't eat, or my grandparents and my mom just because he wouldn't eat the stuff.
I've I've had that moment, the argument.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, me too.
so I mean, this isn't that big of an argument, but I'm at my aunt's house, and my aunt is kind of a health nut. She was like, I think she's vegan now, but so she's trying to get us to eat different things, eat healthy, right? And I'm staying for her. I'm staying with her for a little bit, as like a vacation, right? My parents might be doing something, I don't know.
Hey, you are gassy. Wow.
Sorry. You might cut that out. Don't put that.
No,
in.
we're putting that in.
But dude, the audio listeners.
Listeners are so excited that they heard that.
The burp ASMR.
They are ecstatic.
The thing is there's two different type of people. Half of them went, ew, that's so gross. Other half is like, bro, that was a nice one. Like, nice one, dude. Anyways,
We're gonna keep that in.
so I'm at my aunt's house. She's healthy, and for dinner she cooks mac and cheese, and she always for some reason undercooks the mac and cheese, but we don't have to talk about that. So the mac and cheese, I'm eating it, and then she's like, all right, guys, we're having a bonfire tonight, but to go to the bonfire, you have to eat salad. And I'm like 8 or something,
I love salad.
and I was like, ew, yeah, gross, yeah, salad. I hate salad. How salad is so nasty. And she's like, all right, Dominic, I know you're picky, but just try this and finish it.
One like
She gave me
one
like
forkful.
she gave me like 2 little pieces of lettuce.
No.
And I was looking at that lettuce like it was the scariest thing of all time. I was like, not the lettuce. But so I'm just sitting there like hands in my lap and just I'm not eating it.
Why are kids so scared of food? Why were we so scared of food? Like,
And then-
it's just something green.
So then I'm sitting there, I'm like, I'm not eating it. And then for some reason my aunt just she's like, Dominic, you're gonna eat that. Looks to my sister, she's not eating it, and she like goes off on my sister for like no reason. She's like, Dana, that is so ungrateful of you. People are starving. She did the whole people are starving in Africa thing. She brings Dana into like a different room and shows her like a video of starving African children. And Dana's like traumatized. She's like,
She ate it?
she ate her salad.
Nice.
She ate her salad. Derek was like, oh, salad. I hate
Parenting
it.
tips 101.
Whatever.
Show the video.
And then I'm still sitting there like, I'm not eating these 2 pieces of lettuce.
Well, did she show you the video?
No.
Then why would you eat the lettuce?
That's what I'm saying. So she's like, you know what? If you don't eat the lettuce, no bonfire. So she's like, go up to your room. And I was like, fine. I went up to my room willingly. Why? My DS was under my pillow.
That's what I said.
I did not need no bonfire, bro.
Fire? I got a fire game in my DS.
Dude, the bonfire's not gonna help me beat New Super Mario Bros. For the Nintendo DS.
Honestly.
Why would I ever choose bonfire and salad over Mario? Anyways, that was my argument. You said you had an argument.
Yeah, so there was this day. We went to like Walmart or Target. I got a really cool sweatshirt, and I was probably like 11ish. And we get home, and I have this sweatshirt on. I'm like, oh, this sweatshirt, it's sick, dude. I'm dripping. Like 11ish, and dinner time comes around.
Dripping, stipping, and time to get your meal and your fixins.
Fixing the grub. I'm grubbing at this point.
Straight up.
Straight grubbing.
Shoveling. Munching.
Munching so much. There's like chicken. There's like mac and cheese.
You're macking. That's
And
something
then-
else. Anyways, go.
And then there's green beans. And I'm like, this is not good. I don't like green beans in my head. I don't like the consistency of the mash that it makes in your mouth, and I just hated it. And my parents and I had a whole like 40-50 minute argument about me eating the green beans, there's a point where parents just start shoving food down your throat. And we got to that point. But anyways, they said if I didn't eat it willingly, then they would take back the sweatshirt that I got. And I didn't eat it willingly.
They took back the sweatshirt?
And they never took back the sweatshirt that they bought.
Oh.
So I got to keep the sweatshirt, and I also got food shoved down my throat. But hey, that's... it's okay.
The reason why
you started
laughing when you said the green beans is because remember we had asparagus at my house once and you were over and you never tried it. I was like, dude, try it. It's good. I'm like, it's kind of like green beans but better. And you're like, and then you try it and you're like, it tastes like peas. I hate peas.
I think I was actually talking about peas in the story. I forgot they were called peas.
You mixed up green beans and peas?
Yes, peas are terrible.
So do you like green beans?
Oh.
Do you like green beans or not like green beans?
I don't know. I haven't had a green bean in a fat minute.
I like more vegetables than fruits, which is weird because most kids hate vegetables but love fruits. But I'm different. I'm just built different. It's the texture that even though vegetables have weird textures, it's just not as weird as
broccoli.
fruits.
Broccoli is my go-to. Oh, it's steamed broccoli, not raw broccoli.
You know, I didn't have broccoli. I didn't try broccoli until last year.
I mean, like, cool.
And
weird flex.
I was scared because broccoli seemed scary because it looked like little trees.
Why are you so scared of vegetables?
Dude,
but you like them apparently.
So then I tried it and I was like,
it's alright.
I was like, it was like not the best thing I've ever had. I won't puke.
Corn's super good.
Corn is pog. That is definitely S tier.
Super good.
But I can't believe
S tier.
It took me 17 years to try broccoli. Anyways, I'm very picky, as we've established already. So, and it's always been like this. The thing is, this story, I don't remember it. Well, I just know it because of my family. So, it's either Thanksgiving dinner or Christmas dinner. And I am literally 1 or 2 years old. So I don't remember any of this.
1 or 2? Okay.
And some context. My gag reflex up to this point, awful. It's so sensitive.
Have your parents told you this?
Yeah.
You asked for some information of your baby life?
No, they just they told me this. I didn't even ask for this, but they told me. Apparently, when I was younger, I would gag on bottles.
Were you able to suck from the teat?
I was only able to suck from the teat. And for more context, my mother bought a teat water bottle.
Did it work?
That was shaped like a teat.
Did it work?
I gagged on the fake teat. I only like organic teat. but so I would gag on bottles. That's how bad my gag reflex was. So then, young dumb double G.
Kind of doesn't make sense with your current preference.
Dumb double G at the Christmas dinner, Thanksgiving dinner, sees this bright green Jello. Ooh, Jello. Oh, it's so wobbly. It kind of looks like a teat. I don't know. But anyways, eat some jiggly Jello.
I don't know. I've never seen a teat.
Eat some jiggly Jello in my jugular. And the jugular
trachea
is not jivibing with my Jello.
It's not jivibing?
I'm just trying to say everything with J. But I proceed to projectile vomit all over the table because I didn't like how the Jello went down. and
how far did it go?
All I know is that there was puke on the floor, puke on the chair, puke on me, puke on the table,
puke on grandma, puke on the skyscrapers, puke on the countertop, puke on the teapot, puke on the ice drop. So yeah, I've been picky my whole life, and there's some stories about me being picky and how I only liked organic teats. Man, out of your mouth? I was 7-ish, and I was at my grandparents' house for Thanksgiving or dinner too, and I was eating Jello, and we were laughing at the table because we were at the kids' table, and you make jokes and you laugh as kids. Oh, the kids' table. Yeah, the kids' table's pog. But then wait, sorry to interrupt. You're good. But the first time you go to the adult table, it's not the same. It's just not the same. Unless you are cool with the family, but
let's say you're talking about like some like politics, you don't really want to interrupt unless you really know what you're talking about, and then it gets really weird, and it's like, why would you bring politics up at the Thanksgiving dinner? And the adult table is just insane. Anyway, continue.
I ate some Jell-O and I was laughing, and because you laugh, yo, it goes. I was eating Jell-O at the same time, and it goes up my nose and out of it. A lot.
So wait, what color was the Jell-O?
Green.
Oh, so it looked like boogers coming out
Yes.
of your mouth? You're jiggly Jell-O.
And it wasn't the only time this happened. This happened to my brothers as well. Multiple times. This is like a 3-time occurrence over the past 10 years.
Projectile
Family dinners.
reverse snorting. Wait, what is that called? Something? Reverse snorting. You reverse snorted Jell-O.
I mean,
You-
kind of
no.
can snort out.
You reverse snorted Jell-O?
I snorted out Jell-O, yeah.
Yeah, you reverse snorted Jell-O.
Cause I guess I see where you're coming from. Yes. Man, I mean, like, imagine taking that sound of like someone snorting out Jell-O, putting it into like a song, and like making a beat to it. That would be artistic.
Artistic. Like, dude, art.
Dude, art's pretty pog.
Oh, I was thinking about this. So art is anything. Could be practically anything, right? It could be music. Could be
Writing.
It can be
Painting.
like, painting, right?
Sculpture. Oh, like we talked about this earlier.
I thought about. So that's art, right?
Mm-hmm.
If I farted into a microphone and put on auto-tune, is that considered art?
Absolutely. And right now, I'm gonna play the song that my brother made of that exact thing. Seriously, it's hilarious and awesome. I'm gonna play it right now for you guys.
Anyways.
Okay, yeah, that was the music.
No, wait. I'm just imagining like a.
It's like a.
I'm just imagining like a. I'm imagining like a.
No, it's different than that. It's pretty crazy. You'll see later. But anyways, art just is so diverse, and there's so many different ways. And I wanted to show you guys a couple things that I made. So right here, I got this hat. Just spent a couple hours zentangling this hat, and I think it looks pretty cool. And a lot of people give me compliments on it, and I recommend that you guys do something to pep up your style in any way. Like, I don't know, start sewing on your pants and create like a design or something, or create a shirt.
Maybe even your own clothing brand. That might not go anywhere, but it's fine.
It's fine because you still have the leftovers, and it's pretty cool. And also, get yourself one of these. Get yourself a notebook where you can write down all your ideas.
Is journaling important? Do you think that journaling is important?
I'd say journaling is important for people who are trying to increase their creative ability. Here's art.
What? Okay,
There's more art. There's lots of stuff in here. That's lots of art. And just to think creatively and pump that muscle, it's just like a muscle. You got to work it out.
I think art is funny because it's like art in general, but like the meaning behind art, it could mean so much, but also mean absolutely nothing.
Like, I'll read this. This notebook is only art. This notebook is for learning, experience, creativity, comedy, depression, anxiety, pictures, songs, vocabulary, interesting thoughts, sadness, happiness, horror, love, God, fun, boredom, freedom, expression, solitude, friendship, richness, poverty, madness, color, sanity, tangibility, feelings, unfathomable feelings, pain, suffering, hurt, loss, coolness, amazement, inspiration, clutteredness, organized thoughts, cool pictures of fire, a leaf, swords, fish, people, brain functions otherwise known as thoughts, math problems. Maybe.
Why'd you add the math problems, maybe?
Well, it's funny you say that, because right here, I have a spot where I explain it. I say, one time I got a rush of adrenaline from doing a math problem. It took me 40 minutes, and eventually I got the answer after a page and a half of work. If that ever happens again, I'll recreate the problem in this notebook.
It's just you, like, you do the math problem, and then out of those lines, you like create a drawing out of it. Have you seen that? Where like someone
No.
Someone draws like a banana, and like they turn it into like you can't recognize banana. It's like some guy riding a bicycle.
I have seen that. Yeah. But yeah, dude. When I was doing like pre-calc last year in school, and I was able to like understand what was going on, I was like writing like a page and a half, and it took me a super long time. And during the problem, I was like, "What's the next step?" And then I like figured out a next step, and then I would get to another part where I had to get to that part, and it happened like 10 times. And eventually, I got the answer, and I was so proud
In
of
your
myself.
mind, you're like, do 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 do. You know, like the
like there's a
the
song
Death
playing.
Note song.
Yeah.
Like, do do do, and you're like, I know what to do. Anyways,
Speaking
I was saying
of pre-calc.
Were you dropping calc? Are you
So
saying that you
earlier,
calc?
I early in an earlier podcast, I said I was doing calculus. It was a nice challenge for me. I'm dropping that class.
Which is not right. You should have dropped the class.
I understand where everyone's coming from when they say I shouldn't drop the class. Okay, it's more about planning and where I'm going in my future. Okay, so right now I have the podcast, I have school, I have diving, I have work. That's pretty much my whole life right now. And math was taking up too much of it. It was taking up 40% at least. Every night, like 2-3 hours of math I had to do, and then in school I had an hour of it. So it was like 4 hours of math every day. Not every day, but like every other day when we have the class. And I have to go to diving for 3 hours. I have to drive 40 minutes there and 40 minutes back every day. So I'm out of school for 4 hours already, and then I need to find another couple hours to work on math and all the other assignments that I have, while also going to school every weekday.
You're wrong.
I understand what you're saying.
You shouldn't have dropped the class. All right.
But also now I'm in an easier math class that I'm getting the same amount of credit for, and the only reason I was doing calculus was to try to prove to myself that I could do calculus when I don't even need it for my future job.
Are you sure?
There are skills you can learn in calculus that are different from math, which are like problem solving skills and creative ability, which math is a form of art as well.
Okay, you shouldn't drop calc. Calc is so pog. Calc is actually kind of fun. Calc is fun. Just don't take Calc 3. Calc 3 sucks. Don't take Calc 3. I'm not even in it, but I know just don't take Calc 3. Anyways, Calc is...
It's fun when you have the time to do it, but also I don't want to spend 1.5 hours to...
You're stupid. You're stupid.
I'm not stupid, Dom.
I'm joking.
I'm not stupid.
I'm joking.
I could... If I had... Also, last year I was in a pandemic, and I didn't actually learn everything I was supposed to as the prerequisite classes in pre-calc and trigonometry. So going into this class, I was already way behind, so I had to learn everything.
Okay, so here's...
If I took pre-calc and trig, Dom, I would be able to take care of this class.
Here's my 2 cents on your
Give me
dilemma.
Give me your amount of money.
Give
me your money.
I don't think you should drop the class. 1, I think a challenge is fine. 2, doing the calc would teach you, even though you're okay at managing your time, you said that you do every other day 3 hours. Why not just split that in half and do everyday calc, which you should be to do high level math, is to do an hour and a half of calc a day. I have an hour and a half in my day somewhere. My time management isn't that good. So,
but what if you don't have an hour and a half? What do you do? What do you give up?
So you give up your sleep. Because sleep, even though, I think in the current world, in the current climate, you have to give up sleep in order to be successful. Because you just don't have enough time in the day to do everything you want to do. So that's the one thing you can give up.
See, I disagree with that. Because of how much I strain my body every day, I work out every other day. I go to diving every day for 3 hours. I need recovery.
There's other things you can do other than sleep recovery, even though sleep is very vital.
That is the most important thing for recovery. To get more, to gain muscle and to prevent injury, sleep is the most important thing.
But you are you have other things to do other than sports. Even though sports are important, it's just I think it's important to just have challenge in your classes, is to keep your mind growing. If the easier math, it's it's just not challenging you as
It's
hard.
definitely not challenging
And
me
your
as
mind
hard.
is not growing as hard.
But I also have so many other classes that I have to juggle. So it is still a challenge to deal with school. I still have to manage my time. I still have homework. It's just a different level of math.
Math, it teaches you good problem solving skills, but also recovery for sports is you can do other things. You can, take a bath, stretch, and do all these other things, and which you should be doing along with sleep. So when you have the time to sleep, then it's fine. But for example, in one of my classes, I have this friend who he works really hard in all his classes, and this week I think he said he isn't same with me. This week I didn't get more than 4 hours of sleep every night, which is okay because I can't play anything. But even if I was playing, I would still get the same amount of sleep. And it's just you got to give up something for the benefit. I think that the benefit of having the hard classes can grow your mind, make you think more intelligently, and overall in the future it will teach you the work ethic and the time management, and that just grinding it get you someplace.
That is true. That you will learn how to work hard. I agree. Yes.
And then going further, I just like math. Okay, maybe that's my problem. Is because math is just some people, like.
We've gone over this before.
Like
math is fun when you can understand it and have the certain prerequisites in order to understand it.
I think that Corona really messed
really
up.
Fricked it up.
Because you thought people didn't think of the consequences of them not learning their math classes, when in all actuality
it's like the most important class to understand.
I did. I was like, math, I think I definitely, even though I'm pretty sure everyone at least cheated a little bit during Corona.
Yeah, for sure.
And teachers know this for sure. I did not cheat in math because I was like, if I was to take Calc 2 or ACP Calc 2, which is basically a college level class, right? I would need to know Calc 1, and I didn't cheat in pre-calc at all because I learned halfway through is when Corona hit, and it's just math is fun and it's easier for me to understand than any other subject. It's just maybe just how my mind works. It's just when I know the steps to do, then I was just like, I can recognize like, oh, this is what I do, that, and it's just how it works.
But also, Dom, in my opinion, happiness is the most important thing in life, all right? And if I'm going to school every day with 6 hours of sleep, I know that to you, that seems like a good night's sleep. But for me,
6 hours is great.
I know, but for me, 8 hours is a good night of sleep, and 10 hours is like amazing. I really love that. 6 hours is not a lot at all. When I go through my classes, I get tired, and I literally want to close my eyes, and I almost fall asleep during them. And I'm not happy.
There are things
that
keep you up. There's
caffeine
and coffee.
I mean, yeah, I use those as supplements, right? And it's not healthy. You want to be ready for your day. I want to feel like I can understand things. I want to wake up and feel ready to put my brain to work instead of every day waking up and being like, oh, I have to get up. This is so hard. And then the next 2 hours, I'm like trying to wake up. And then later in the day, I have to be all tired during like third or fourth block because I didn't get much sleep the last night.
It's not much about the sleep. I know sleep's important. It's just two things. Giving up the sleep and being not as happy, which, I mean, I have a pretty positive outlook on life. It's just, I think going through the hard and unhappy moments now, when I can give up my sleep and it doesn't affect me too much, then later in life, since I did those things now, I don't have to do them later. So instead of waking up super early for whatever job I do, then since I spent so long and hard on my classes, I can get a better college and then get a better paying job, and then eventually I can retire earlier than ever. And then also, the quote, I sent you the TikTok of Steve Harvey saying, I don't know if he said rich. Did he say rich or did he say successful?
Rich and successful.
He said that rich or successful people don't sleep 8 hours a day. And the thing that caught my eye and made me think was he said, that's a third of your life. I don't want to spend a third of my entire life. That means if I live 100 years, 33 of those years, I'm sleeping. I'm not doing anything. So maybe if I cut down just 2 hours, I'm only sleeping a fourth of my life.
Okay.
Then I get eight years back of my life by just 2 hours. And then eventually my body will adjust to the 6 hours of sleep.
I don't think so. I don't think so.
I think so.
I think you will be able to, like, I think your body will, like, adapt to it, but you won't be at your 100%.
But just think, 8 years of your life. That's
I'm chill.
8 more
I'm
years
chill
of
with
your
it.
life.
I'm chill with it. If I'm more well-rested and happy and content with how I'm living during the hours that I'm awake, I don't care if it takes off 8 years of my life. I'm fine with how I'm living. Would you rather be rich or happy and well-rested?
Both.
Would you
And
rather
by not
be rich or well-rested?
Rich?
I would rather be well-rested. I would rather make $80,000 a year and be well-rested every day.
No.
Or then I would be then having $10 million every year and be exhausted every day.
If you're going that, you can't go 80,000. You have to do the extremes. So if you're
I'm
saying,
not saying poor.
No.
I'm not going to be poor if I'm well-rested.
Would you rather be homeless and well-rested or exhausted and a millionaire? The would you rather question. Because if you're going to do you have to do the extremes if you're going to go there.
I don't think so.
I think you do. To prove your point, what would you pick?
I might be homeless and happy. I might. I don't know. I can't give you an answer because that's a huge question.
So you're saying that sleep equals happiness, which I don't think is true.
I'd say sleep is a huge boost to your mental health and will help you in the long run. And also, if you're not sleeping, that's shaving years off your life because you're not able to recover. So because I'm sleeping more, I'm able to live longer than you.
2 hours?
Yes, 2 hours a day. Well, I don't know. I'll have to look up the statistic. But 2 hours a day will definitely increase your living a couple percent. 2%, I'm positive.
So the 2% you get, is that worth the eight extra years? The 8 years that I get back for...
Say it's 6 years, then. If it's 6 years off your life, Dom, you gotta live like you're gonna die every day, no matter what. You gotta be happy. You gotta be happy. You gotta be well rested and be able to die happy if you die that day.
If I die young, and I'm living my life a little longer instead of sleeping, more fulfillment. It's all about the fulfillment, dude. It's all about the fulfillment. Happiness is basically how much fulfillment you get from life. If I get more fulfillment from not sleeping and doing more things, then I think I'll die the same happiness.
I think that this is where we agree to disagree. And if you get more fulfillment from not sleeping and gaining more time right now, then rather than at the end of your life.
But the thing is, you gain both. You gain and also lose.
You do not gain at the end of your life if you sleep. If you don't sleep as much right now.
No, what I'm saying is that you said you sleep, you gain more years, right? But by not sleeping, you also gain more years. But then by sleeping, you lose years. But then by not sleeping, you also lose years. So I don't know which one is more or less.
So, basically, guys, this is why it's good to have conversations. Because we learned something here. We learned that Dom likes to... Dom has a different outlook.
I like to destroy my body and live a little. I don't know.
Dom just has a different outlook on life, and I have a little bit different as well. That's why I dropped. That's why I dropped calculus. I'm able to work on more creative things, and I'm more happy about it. And if you're happy doing your thing, dude, good job, man.
Some people like to sleep. Some like to stay up a little later. Hey, don't interrupt me. I'm gonna restart. Some people like to sleep. Some people like to stay up a little later and do more. Some people like to put the toilet seat down. Some people like to keep it up and leave. Some people like to eat their mozzarella sticks with no tomato sauce. And some like to make a crappy replacement. Some people like to fart in a microphone and make a song out of it, and other people like to draw a line and say it represents how how you have to conform to the straight path of life, and how there's nowhere else to go but up. It's all choices. And that has been Organic Matters. Stay organic, my friends.